What's wrong with Justin Simmons? Bird bath, week 11. The Falcons head up to Denver to play the Broncos in week 11, and both of these teams are desperate. Denver, if they want to stay in the playoff race, still needs to win this game. And if the Falcons want to be a contending playoff team, these are the type of games that we have to win. Denver has really good defense. The pass rush can really get after you with only 4 guys. They have pretty good cover cornerbacks. The one spot where I think we could probably exploit, we could probably run the ball on them. Seattle, the Bucks, the Ravens, and the Steelers all had success running the ball on them, and we have a better running back than all of those guys. Depending on who you ask, some people might say that Derrick Henry is better than Bijan, but we shall see, we shall see. That's here nor there. This pass rush can really get to you very quickly, and they get their ears pinned back. You got a problem on your hands. Keep them off balance. I'd screen them a little bit more. Get those guys from thinking that they could just coming at us all balls out. Last week, Kansas City, they weren't able to really get deep on them a whole lot. We have the 2 hottest receivers in the league right now, but I don't think we need to get caught up in that trap of getting pass happy. Our offense runs through Bijan, the engine that drives this vehicle. The way I see things going is us going with a lot more underneath and intermediate routes and then going deep off of our play action. This team is a play action team. Kirk Cousins' strength is play action. Trying to force big plays, that's where we get ourselves in trouble and we get behind the 8 ball a little bit. Kirk does have a tendency to stare his receivers down sometimes. I wouldn't get ourselves in a 3rd and long situations. Just don't want to have like obvious passing downs with this team. Their defense can get a little bit blitz happy. Last week, Patrick Mahomes made them pay for blitzing with Travis Kelce. And we have even more of a matchup nightmare with Kyle Pitts. Teams are definitely trying to take him away from us. They know that he's an additional deep threat to Darnell Mooney. We could definitely make them pay if they want to get a little bit blitz happy. We ate Tampa Bay alive, and Kirk is pretty good at getting the ball out of his hands if he sees it. Also with Bijan, out of the backfield and as a blocker, he's quickly emerging as one of the best running backs in the league for that very reason. As far as their offense, I mean, it's mostly Bo Nix. I mean, they're not really great at running the ball, but this kid can scramble around, throw any pass that you want. He'll run past you if you let him deceptively, and he'll catch a touchdown on your ass. I mean, he just don't care. Very poised. I think that we can definitely get to them with the pass rush if we blitz them a little bit, but you don't want to play too much man on a quarterback like this. If you don't get to them real quick, they're off to the races if all these guys are downfield covering man. We could definitely throw some things at them, roll some coverages, disguise some things, blitz them a little bit, but I wouldn't go too blitz happy on them. I mean, one thing that you do have to worry about with their offense is they got Sean Payton. Real creative play caller. He throws trick plays at you, and he also likes to line up the receiver in the backfield sometimes too. He gets real tricky with his plays, so our linebackers are definitely going to have their hands full. I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for us for the rest of the year. Teams are going to try to continue to force them to make plays. Troy Anderson is hurt again. I'm not sure if we're going to have him this week. We're also going to be without James Smith-Williams this week. He's hurt himself a bit. He's been tremendous against the run for us, and he's been okay with some of his pass coverage as well. Leaves a little bit to be desired on his pass rush, but we are getting Lorenzo Carter back for what it's worth. I expect us playing the Broncos to make sure that we don't give up any huge plays. We're probably going to go back to a lot more zone. Aside from A.J. Terrell, none of our cornerbacks are really just that fast. Mike Hughes is, of course, better than the other 2 cornerbacks that we have, but press man didn't serve us very well last week. MVS got deep for us on 3 plays, so they definitely could do a little something with us. Courtland Sutton isn't necessarily like a top 5 receiver in the league right now. He's still a really good receiver out there. There's a lot of fans who've been calling Justin Simmons washed up. They were saying that last week he should have been over top and he gave up that big play on Marcus Valdez-Scantling. And actually, when I looked at the all-22, that was a straight-up man-to-man play. There was a crossing route. You can actually see where A.J. Terrell is calling it out. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they probably are rolling their coverage. Justin Simmons is still out there making plays. There's nothing wrong with him except for he's 30. And a lot of you guys out there wish that y'all was still 30. I mean, according to PFF, he's not too far from Jesse Bates on his score. And Jesse Bates is actually, according to a lot of people out there, myself included, probably the defensive player of the year this year so far. So I think fans get a little bit overblown. I'm looking at Simmons on tape, and he's making plays still out there. We don't necessarily need him to be a perennial Pro Bowler or all-pro player at this point in his career, but he's definitely better than Richie Grant. We saw the difference that it made in having him out there when we played the Bucks the second time this year. And they were without their 2 top receivers. Baker Mayfield, he had a field day on us. So I think you guys need to be a little bit more thankful for Justin Simmons, because it can get real ugly. I hate calling games a must win. It looks like we're going to probably win our division either way it goes. But one of the better defenses in the league, number 2 in sacks. They're up there with points against and yardage. You want to see that you can actually go out here and put up points against a team like this, and you can control the pacing of the game. And you also want to know that you can actually do something against mobile quarterbacks. You want to see if this pass rush can actually do a little bit better and be more disciplined and stay in our lanes this week. Hopefully we don't have to leave as many kicks up to Koo, but offense has to go out there and put up points while we're on the road. This team is built to go through the offense and play with leads, and there's just no two ways about that. Point game, C-Mo to C. Mitchell, Week 11 Bird Bath. Checking out, baby. Peace.